Hey, how's it going, you guys? This is petplatypus here. The blue beanie is back. I finally found it. I used to wear this if you're a newer subscriber. No real special reason. It's a DAJ beanie from the movies me and my friends used to make, our DAJ Films thing. Okay, so now that little trivia is out of the way. Episode 80 of Hunter x Hunter. This was a mixed bag episode for me. I thought the stuff in the beginning with the backstory for this Gyro guy about how I'm summarizing. Obviously, I don't need to say that. How he had a shitty as fuck father, like shitty as fuck. I mean, the only thing you can say this guy has over Jing is that he was there. But other than that, Jing is like the greatest father ever by comparison. Jing is the greatest father ever. Let that sink in about how much of a dick this guy is. And apparently Gyro's not human, or he feels like he's not human. And everyone's a dick to him, and he grew up in a shitty, shitty place. The only hope he clung to was, like, that his dad took care of him when he was ill, but really it was just a neighbor. And, I mean, it was not a bad backstory, but just the way it was thrust upon us about a character we obviously don't care about just made it feel really awkward to watch, and kind of felt like the time was being wasted. I'm sure it'll come back, but, yeah, and I have a theory I'll get to later in the review. But anyway, after that backstory's done, we got more of the Chimera ants killing people, carrying off people. We see Pockle and Ponzu and the other two guys whose names I don't even give a shit about. And they see the ants carrying people away, and they're like, we got to get back to the outside and tell people what's going on here. As soon as they said that, I was like, okay, they might die, because that's like the, in some movies and stuff, that's like the line. Like, there's always that line, like, yeah, we'll see each other soon, or I'll be right back, or we gotta tell the world about this. Like, those lines are like, yeah, that person's gonna die. But this is an anime, and not everyone dies in an anime, especially characters that are relatively important. I mean, Pockle and Ponzu are not important characters at all, but yeah, they do end up dying. They get attacked by this fucking spider dude, and he can actually, like, see Nen. And, like, he could tell, and he caught the arrow that he shot. And that was really interesting. There were also scenes of the ants. We had Colt talking to the penguin, Gunter, about, they're not really sure how Nen works, but they're talking about Nen without knowing what Nen really is, and they're kind of puzzled by it. And then there's a scene where Colt says, I have to protect Reyna. And that was the little sister's name. And I was like, whoa! What the fuck? Like, you just retained that memory from your old self? And that's when I thought, oh, I thought about this before, but that reaffirmed, that, like, reconfirmed my theory of maybe this Gyro guy will be the king, or a very important ant, or something like that. So, yeah, that would be really cool. That backstory would make a ton of sense if that's going to be like the backstory of the king, if that's going to be the king's memories and personality. Because we saw this with Colt, you know, how he was like Reyna, and then he said he didn't know what he said. Like, he said, you're hearing things. I don't know if that was him covering his own ass, or if he really didn't know that he said that. But that was definitely really interesting. I'm very invested and compelled by, like, the ants' evolution. Like, this is crazy. Ants have never been more epic. But, yeah, that was cool. Where was I talking? I was talking about Pockle and Ponzu, too. Then I kind of deviated, because I was talking about that one dude and how he saw Nen and everything. But yeah, they get killed. Well, Ponzu doesn't get killed. What's-her-name wants to rescue him. Ponzu, she escapes, but then she gets shot down by this one trigger-happy one that we've been seeing. He kills her. I don't want to know what he did to her body when he was fucking... I'm just gonna go with that he ate her. I don't want to think of anything else. But, yeah, she ends up sending out one of her little messenger bees, and Go and Killer and Kite get it, and they go in, they find her, fucking big bloody splatter, she's most likely dead. So, yeah, I mean, character death, and they weren't, like, total D-list characters. They were, you know, we knew who they were. They had names and personalities, and they were there during the Hunter exam, so that's, you know, they're not super important, but still, I give credit. That's a death that some authors wouldn't do. But yeah, overall, I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Oh yeah, and Kite, Gon, and Killua did not take horses in. I don't know if that's super relevant, but they didn't do that. I'm pretty sure that's everything that had to do with this episode. Kite said that Chimera Ants plus the NGL is the worst possible combination. We kind of already knew that, but it's cool that it was actually said, I guess. But yeah, pretty much. Oh, and he told, like, Dinner and, like, that other one that they have to go back to meet up with the other group. So I'm like, oh, is Dinner not going to die? I want to see Dinner die. His name is Dinner, for God's sake. But yeah, anyway, that's my review for episode 80. It's kind of, I want to be, like, fair as a reviewer and say that this episode was actually really well done, like 8.5. But as far as, like, how much I personally cared about the characters and how much I personally cared about the backstory, we're talking, like, 7, 6.5. Because, I mean, they weren't like, oh, man, Ponzu's so epic, you know what I mean? Oh, fucking can't wait to see what Pockle's gonna do, you know? It's not like that. But, to be fair, as a reviewer, this was relatively major death, kind of-ish, not really, but a little. And the ants are definitely progressing in their evolution in a very nice way, and that backstory will probably be very, very important. So, 8.5 for this episode of Hunter x Hunter, but not the most interesting for me personally, but we'll just see where everything goes. Thanks for watching this video. Well, never mind, no outro. We gotta do the other one first. Sorry about that. Alright, you guys, so episode 81. This was an okay episode, I guess. This episode seriously dodged a bullet at one part that was about to piss me off, but, yeah. This episode is basically more of the same stuff with the ants that we've been getting, and Gon and Killua versus the rabbit dude. Like I said, with the ants, it's still the same, you know, we see that they have personalities, which we already had established. You know, they're not really learning anything new. They're kind of talking about how getting rare humans is kind of better than getting regular humans, so, you know, they're going to try and focus on that a bit. This one is like, I want to eat one of the rare humans, you know, the ones that have, like, Nen and shit. But yeah, it's still the same, you know, we're going to do what we want, and Colt gets mad at them, and, you know, they don't listen to him, and it's like the same thing, and that's kind of repetitive at this point. But we'll see where things go. But yeah, that's the ant stuff. You know, the queen wants more and more, and they're like, well, rare humans are like eating 1,000 fucking humans. So, yeah, obviously Nen users is what they're referring to. So, yeah. That's stuff with the ants. Then we have Gon and Killua versus the rabbit dude. And it's an okay little skirmish. It's not like a big fight or anything. Killua pulls out a new move where he, like, shoots a lightning bolt down, and then Gon uses his rock. But yeah, the part that fucking kind of pissed me off, like I was about to say, when they did that, and they said that their attacks didn't fucking work, I was like, dude, come, it's a soldier, and Gon and Killua are still this pathetic? Like, this soldier is better than Genthru? Like, what? Like, they've gone through so much training at this point. They train with Wing, they train with Biscuit, and it's like, why do you keep putting these guys up against opponents they can't beat? Put them up against something they actually can fight, or else it makes it look like their training has been worthless. I mean, seriously, but we do see later that it seems the effects of their attacks did hurt him. He's coughing up blood, he's lying on the ground, he's holding his stomach. Colt could have punished him for all we know, but considering how mad he is at Gon and Killua, I think they did deal damage. They just thought they didn't. But wow, dude, like, if they really, like, these are soldiers. Like, come on, Gon and Killua, they have to be better than this. I mean, I know they haven't gotten super substantial training. They don't have experience yet, but that doesn't mean I have to like that they keep getting put up against these opponents that they need experience to beat. I mean, you know, there's only so much of watching these two characters get their asses kicked every arc without even being able to fight back that I can take before it gets really fucking annoying. So, yeah, we'll see where things go. That part, it didn't, like I said, it didn't piss me off too much because I think they did hurt him severely. And it would seem Gon and Killua can fight soldiers, so we'll see where that goes. Kite said their attacks weren't bad and that they need more experience. So hopefully they can get experience during this arc. But I mean, wow, we are so far into the series for these characters to still be like this. I mean, it's crazy. Or I mean, even if they were still this weak, that'd be fine. But they just don't need to fight these ridiculously strong opponents all the time. Give them something they can actually, you know, manage against. But whatever. For now, I'm going to give this episode, like, I don't know, 8 out of 10, 7.5. I mean, you know, that's the typical good rating. Because, yeah, like I said, not a huge amount of progress. The fight was okay at best. Kind of repetitive with the ants, so... I'm going to go, like, maybe 6.5 on this episode. If I'm forgetting anything that was in the episode, then I apologize. There could have been, like, one thing I'm totally forgetting that could be totally epic, but I don't recall that at all. I think I'd remember if something super epic happened, but yeah. Like a 6.5 out of 10. By no means a bad episode. Just not one of the better ones that we've had so far. Don't hate the arc. I'm still invested in the ants. I think what they're doing is still very interesting. But yeah, thanks for watching these 2 reviews. Yeah, now I can finally do the outro. I fucked it up in the last video. I do that a lot sometimes. I have to, like, cut. Well, whatever. Thanks for watching this video. Tell me what you guys thought of the episode in the comments below, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.